If you've been following us for a while, you already know what hydrogen therapy is. But today we're dialing it in on who it's actually for. Though hydrogen therapy can virtually benefit anyone due to its highly adaptive properties, we want to clarify the types of people it can benefit most.
Whether you're aiming to sharpen your mental clarity, push your physical limits, slow the aging process, or support recovery from chronic issues, hydrogen therapy can play a role. In this episode, we're going to break down the real-world use cases so you can figure out where it fits into your routine.
No fluff, no rehashing the science, we're getting straight into it. That's coming up next. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back in, everyone, to another episode of the Healing with Hydrogen podcast. My name is Logan Hart.
And I'm Will Keller.
And as the intro has suggested, we are getting into the specifics of who hydrogen therapy is for. We'll cover the more general aspects and then cover some of the more specific demographics of those who are most likely to not only benefit, but be interested in trying out hydrogen therapy for themselves. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into it. So we want to start by sort of emphasizing that although it's a universal support tool, the way it can help people can vary quite a bit depending on what you're looking to achieve and other various factors such as your age and things like that. So what you're going to get out of watching this episode is clarity on whether it's something that you should pursue. Again, we're not going to get too into the nitty-gritty of the science in this episode. We've already covered a great deal of that in the previous episode. So if you are interested in that, and regardless, do go back and start from the beginning, especially these first 10 episodes are structured in a way to take someone from zero awareness into having a really good grasp on these fundamental concepts. So this episode is going to be a practical guide to understanding if and how hydrogen might fit into your own specific goals.
That's right. Some of the categories we have coming up is just general wellness and optimizing your health, performance, longevity, and also chronic recovery issues that people might be battling. And we're going to cover a wide range of topics.
Right. So, Will, you want to go ahead and get into our first point, which is the most broad perspective on who this might help?
Absolutely. General wellness and the preventative use, right? Preventative is important, and that's where hydrogen therapy absolutely shines. So who is this for? It's for the health-conscious individuals, the busy professionals on the go all the time that have a very strict routine, and then people trying to stay ahead of burnout, brain fog, fatigue, and other lifestyle-related stress, the day-to-day stresses. And, anyone looking for a simple, low-maintenance daily tool to support their body's resilience, hydrogen therapy absolutely can benefit that whole spectrum right there. So how does hydrogen help in this aspect for general wellness? It helps the body recover from everyday oxidative stress caused by diet, lack of sleep, air quality, EMFs, and other toxicities that we are all kind of bombarded on a day-to-day basis. So, there's no way around it. We're going to take some of that burden on. The question of being proactive and preventative is, what do you do within your daily routines that can aid, support, and repair? So it supports mental clarity and energy levels. Remember, if you're up to date on our episodes, hydrogen therapy is fantastic at activating energy levels, primarily on the ATP, the cellular activation, repair, and maintenance, which leads to balanced inflammation before symptoms arise. One of the biggest components of hydrogen therapy is that it can mitigate the systems in the body for inflammation and oxidative stress. So not only dealing with the current stressors of oxidation and inflammation, but preventative as well. So, this is ideal for people who want to maintain their health rather than wait for something to go wrong. So, that's that proactive approach. And, we have to be honest with ourselves, right? The majority of people in this day and age totally wait until there is that negative symptom, that sign, almost forcing them to look and analyze themselves if something goes wrong. There's some type of issue. And, having that proactive approach and the preventative method, you can always stay ahead and keep that body in homeostasis. So also, one of the benefits of hydrogen therapy is that it shines obviously in the daily foundational practices. It's easy to use and it can be implemented into your daily routine, which is a huge perk. A lot of, therapies, they have to be, consciously focused on. And sure, hydrogen therapy should be consciously sorted into your routine. But the methods of getting hydrogen therapy are easy, natural, and very, very smooth to incorporate. There's no need for medical condition or athletic goal because this is the baseline of optimization. We're talking about the systems level. So you're getting down to the causal realm, the causal factors of inflammation, oxidative stress, and you're addressing that, the root of the problems. So a good quote is like, think of it like brushing your teeth, but for your cells, right? It's a daily practice that can be done. I mean, everyone brush your teeth in the morning before bed. Hydrogen therapy is that easy to
Hmm.
incorporate.
Love it. Yeah, and exactly. It doesn't make sense to wait until you've got cavities and your teeth are falling out of your head before you think, oh, maybe I should brush my teeth, or like, changing the oil on your car or something like that. Like, this is just good preventative, routine sort of practice. And so that covers the sort of general overview of how this can really benefit anyone, regardless of who you might be. But let's drill down a little bit now and get a little bit more specific, starting with athletes or just high performer type individuals. So we're talking competitive athletes, fitness enthusiasts, weekend warriors, even just high output professionals looking for better physical or mental performance. People with demanding training schedules, or just pushing their limits physically or cognitively, right? Just something like running a business, although most people don't think of that as a athletic or performative type of role, it absolutely is. And if your body isn't working at optimal functionality, then your brain and your ability to do these other more mental tasks are going to suffer as well. So, how hydrogen can help these types of people? A number of ways that are actually quite profound. So, it speeds up recovery by reducing exercise induced oxidative stress and inflammation. So, again, we know that stress is not only important, it's healthy within reason. It's only when it gets to unmanageable levels that it becomes harmful or starts to have an accumulative sort of negative effect. But this is a great example of when you go and do a workout, you're literally stressing the cells, your muscles, all of that. You're putting a level of stress on it, and that's what triggers the repair and the rebuilding process. So hydrogen can just help speed that up. So the faster that you rest and recover, the faster you can get back in the gym or whatever your you know sport or whatever that may be, and do it again, and just keep you can expedite that process. And similar to this, hydrogen also helps minimize what's called DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. So it can help prevent how sore you are, allowing for more consistent training, but then it's going to reduce how long you're sore for, which is also going to affect how quickly you can get back in there and start training again. Because that's what all say a bodybuilder, they're spending years and decades even building their body. All that is, when you break it down, is a cycle, a process of going and putting that stress on, and then repairing the rest and recovery phase. And it's like this oscillating process. And so hydrogen is just going to be able to speed that up, meaning you're going to get faster progress, especially over a long enough timeline. It also enhances mitochondrial efficiency, as Will mentioned earlier. So, this is directly relating to your energy, your cellular energy, which is the entire bioelectrical energy system of your body, which translates into better energy utilization during your workouts and beyond, or mentally demanding tasks, because your mind uses an extraordinary amount of energy. Your brain requires a lot of energy for processing power. And overall, this is going to support your focus, your stamina, and recovery from both physical and cognitive exertions. So, the key takeaways here are essentially, hydrogen isn't a stimulant. It's not like chugging a Monster or a coffee or something like that. In fact, those things aren't actually energy either. They only trick your brain into feeling less tired. But this is working at a cellular level, so you don't get the same spike and crash like with those other sort of chemicals. It can be used before or after training, or both, to support performance during your workouts and to aid in the recovery after the fact. So essentially, if you're looking for that extra edge without wrecking your system, without that energetic cost, that deficit, that because everything's a trade-off, this is one of those very few exceptions where it's just a clean, sustainable option without that negative effect.
Absolutely. Well said. And this is also why there's kind of an ample supply of studies, case studies, and research specifically for high performers, athletes, and recovery. These people are taking on, loads amount of stress. And at certain points, like you mentioned, it can be detrimental, and that can be out of an unbalanced state. And hydrogen definitely gives the body its aid, its adaptability to do what it does best: heal itself, recover, maintain, and operate more efficiently. And moving on to operating more efficiently, longevity and anti-aging. This is a huge category. It's a trending category, right, with the biohackers. And who doesn't want to extend their life longevity and slow the aging process? Because since birth, we grow, we age, it's guaranteed, and then we pass on. But there are things that you can do to, mitigate that, slow that down. And hydrogen therapy 100% is one of those, major factors. So who is this for? It's anyone focused on living longer and living better. So, like I mentioned, the biohackers, functional medicine fans and followers, aging adults looking to preserve their life force energy, their mobility, their cognitive functions, and just, overall efficiency. As we get older and we get into that age where, hey, this biological vessel is going to start to break down at certain points. How can we slow that down and mitigate that process? So people that are already practicing health and optimization habits like fasting, cold plunge, cold exposure, and supplementation, which all of those are great. Hydrogen therapy actually can boost all of those modalities, and it's foundational modality to incorporate. And how does hydrogen help? Right? So it counters oxidative stress and inflammation. So two of the primary drivers of aging and degenerative disease. So it supports the mitochondrial health and autophagy, helping maintain cellular cleanup and the renewal process. Hydrogen therapy, molecular hydrogen, knows the difference between cells that are older and unhealthy, and it will actually initiate the apoptosis, the cellular death, to exert out of the body and detoxify, and then of course aid, assist, and vitalize the healthy young cells to give it a stronger cellular activation and energy. So some of the key talking points and the key takeaways for this category is hydrogen is a foundational longevity molecule. It's low risk, high reward, and incredibly easy to integrate into your daily life. We're talking about a natural modality that it's hydrogen. It's the essence of the universe. It's the essence of life. So, unlike any other anti aging tools that are complex, expensive, hydrogen offers simplicity and broad spectrum benefits and tailor made as well to your specific needs. So, it's not about stopping aging, right? That's impossible. It's about aging well with more vitality, clarity, and resilience. That's the goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, as you can see, this is something that anyone could be interested in. But obviously, the older one gets, the more you're thinking about, I'm not getting any younger. How can I eh, maximize my quality of life? And with something that's it's just one thing that you can do on a daily basis that's going to have such a profound effect on this, especially the older you get. It's just a no brainer as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, the next point that we're going to get into here is the chronic conditions and recovery. So this is we're talking people that are trying to manage really serious conditions, inflammation, heavy or oxidative stress driven type conditions, which is most of them really, if you understand the root causes of most conditions, as well as autoimmune disorders, chronic fatigue, joint pain, metabolic issues, digestive conditions, or neurological concerns. These are the main sort of categories, which, I mean, still just covers such a vast array of the biggest, most common, and impactful conditions that so many people are dealing with now, as well as people who may be recovering from surgery or long periods or of physical or mental stress as well. It doesn't even have to be something with a name that's been diagnosed, but just periodic sections of life where you're recovering from something that was just really a huge load on the body to process and recover from. So, how hydrogen helps with these sort of conditions as a gentle but effective antioxidant and anti inflammatory agent without suppressing natural immune functions. So, that's so key. As I was just touching on earlier, so many things, especially when you get into the pharmaceutical realm, there's such a heavy cost for any sort of goal that you may be trying to achieve with some sort of treatment or whatever. What is the cost? What is the trade-off? And you might get one benefit with 10 potentially even more serious side effects, right? So this is just such a low cost, net positive type of treatment that you can do, that really helps the body return to balance, homeostasis, that supports your healing, reducing symptom severity, and just again improving the quality of life. This tiny molecule that's the smallest in the universe can cross the blood brain barrier, which is or any other barrier in the body for that matter, which is especially helpful for neurological recovery and cognitive function as well. So, the key takeaways here in regards to chronic illness is this is often where hydrogen delivers some of the most noticeable, profound results, such as less pain, more energy, better focus, and overall just normalized levels, right? Your blood pressure, things like this. I know Will can attest, we've directly seen people have these kind of profound results when starting to use hydrogen therapy. So it's not a cure, but it supports the body's natural healing processes, which can make everything else work better. Which, in my opinion, is so much better than a cure, right? A cure has this very codependent almost sort of dynamic to of like, oh, I'm just sick, I just need this cure to fix me. This is giving you the tool for your body to heal itself, not only from whatever damage has been done, but then to optimize that health to prevent the likelihood of that condition or other conditions from returning. So, if your system feels like it's constantly overloaded or inflamed, chances are that it is because of the toxic load that we're subjected to on a daily basis, as Will mentioned earlier. Hydrogen gives it breathing room to recalibrate, which is so, so powerful and profound.
Oh, absolutely. And, like you mentioned, we've both experienced that, and many other people that I personally know and seen have reaped the benefits of this in my own personal life. That's how I got started in hydrogen therapy. I was looking for relief and looking for some aid within my autoimmune chronic issues. And hydrogen therapy absolutely gave me not only relief and correctness. I like the term correct. It's a course correction. It's helping your body get back on track. And like you were saying, no such thing as a cure. That's just kind of an abdication of our own human experience and responsibility. Okay, so moving on to life stages from young adults to seniors, right? Who is this for? It's a tailored therapy for people across all different stages of life. So from, health conscious 20s to something to its active seniors. I personally have given hydrogen therapy to my infant daughter and helped her with a condition called a hemangioma, which is essentially a birthmark on the cheek, and it sped up the recovery process. So another, anecdotal story. So young adults looking to prevent long-term damage, midlife individuals managing stress and performance, and the elderly focused on mobility, cognition, and independence, right? And hydrogen therapy can help these stages. Let's look at the 20s to 30s, right? Our prime. It supports high performance lifestyles, stress resilient, mental clarity, and recovery from overtraining or burnout, right? The 20s and 30s, you are super active. And of course, maintaining and your recovery process is vital during those times. And then, your 40s and 50s. It can help maintain energy levels, reduce inflammation, and manage early signs of aging and support hormonal balance. 40s and 50s is where you're reaping the events and the stress and the toxicity of your 20s and 30s, right? Your 40s and 50s are really starting to show that wear and tear. So those categories are crucial, especially hormonal balance, inflammation, and, managing the oxidative stress. So, getting into the proactive and the preventative in your 40s and 50s, that's where hydrogen therapy shines. And then you're 60 years old and beyond, right? It aids in preserving the brain health and the cognitive ability, your mobility, your general function, right? Joint function and immune strength, while supporting, graceful aging, right? You want to age well, you want to age smoothly, and you also want to be ready for any type of hurdles or pivots that you may have. Hydrogen therapy absolutely addresses all of those, key points. So some of the key takeaways for the life stages is that hydrogen's versatility, making it a lifelong wellness companion, right? You don't outgrow it. And the benefits shift with your needs, which is extremely important. You might need certain things day to day, and hydrogen therapy is there to assist your body in giving it what it needs for balance. And also it's rare to find something that supports you when you're pushing hard and when you're trying to heal or slow down. And that's the beauty of hydrogen. Again, its versatility and its potency and efficiency.
Yeah, very well said, man. And so hopefully we've clarified who would be the most likely to benefit, which there are a few demographics, as we said, athletes, the elderly, and people with chronic, more serious chronic conditions among the top there. But virtually anyone really can benefit again from that preventative perspective, getting in there, optimizing the body before something more serious is coming up for you. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. What is the next step for you besides watching the next episode is, of course, like and subscribe to this channel, and do find us on the various social media platforms as well. So there is the link tree. So you can just, if you're on your TV, just scan that real quick. Go and just go down the line and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and so forth. And of course, we would love to have you join our webinar and newsletter, so you can get the full bird's eye picture of hydrogen therapy and something that's easy to send to a friend as well. That's a very just kind of all encompassing but short thing that you can send to them or get into yourself, and then that will get you on the email list where we're sending out regular updates on the emerging studies that are coming out, the new findings in the space. It's a very exciting time to be involved in and have your finger on the pulse of hydrogen therapy. It's only going to get more popular, and you can feel good about being kind of still early to the game. And so, of course, knowledge is just the first step. So make sure you get activated. Do visit our website, ostarahydrogen.com, see our different machines, get one for yourself, and start experiencing those benefits for yourself. And then you'll have that firsthand knowledge, and you'll know it's not just hearsay. It's not just trust the science, bro. It's the real thing, right? So, Will, if you have anything you wanted to add?
Oh, no, well said, well said. I mean, I hope this episode gave some benefit and value. And, we could come on here and just say it is for everyone, because it truly is. Everyone and anyone, but specific categories for you to relate to, because the science does back up those categories very well. And I hope everyone comes on this journey with us. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. So that's it for this episode. Make sure you stay to the end. We'll have the next episode in the end card, and continue on that journey. So we'll keep the content coming at you. Thanks again for watching this. Of course, leave your thoughts down below and share with a friend. But we will see you in the next episode. Thank you and have a beautiful day.